I tried multiple times to leave Evan, and he would threaten me with something. I'll never see my kid. I've been recording you, just weird stuff, right? And scare me to where the point where I'd come back because that wasn't worth it to me. To risk losing my kid wasn't worth it to me. So I could tough this out, right? I could tough this out till she's 18. Um,
Hi, I'm Cheryl Medeiros.
And I'm Colleen Hungerford. And this is We're Doing This Right, right? A podcast for the whole woman, mind, body, soul, and business.
It's humor infused, as real as it gets, inspiring, and you'll walk away with real usable tools for life and business.
If you love what you're hearing, please share with a friend, subscribe so you'll never miss an episode, and rate and review whenever you listen.
So find your earbuds, lace up your walking shoes, or cozy up with a beverage of your choice. It's time to dig in. Oh, hello, InspireHER.
Doing it right. Herd. Doing it right while the herd is happening. I'm good. It's happening over here. Every day I feel like I have a sick kid right now, which is so wild. But we're just doing it.
Great.
How are you doing over there, Cheryl?
Extreme hormone issues.
Oh, dude.
I believe I have post-ablation syndrome. So I was singing the praises of my uterine ablation, and then 2 years later,
oh shit,
things have gone really sideways over here. And so working through that.
Okay.
And then so I'm back on birth control, skipping the periods like we did back in the day, except periods aren't skipping. They're still coming, which means I'm still in pain. And it's
oh my God. That is,
but I think I know what's going on, which is a half the battle, like not knowing what's happening, being like, does somebody have a knife in my vagina?
Yeah. Like, is that what's happening? I mean, maybe.
What?
Yeah. This aging hormone bullshit. Like, I have a new, and we have a guest, and we'll introduce her because she's amazing. But like, I have this new theory that, like, I'm going to make up a statistic that more than 75% of divorces happen during perimenopause because our hormones are wild, and all of a sudden, like, we're not taking shit from nobody. And also, why are you looking at me? Why are you breathing? Why are you so annoying? And some of that is physical, like just the physical reactions. I have a friend, and this is a long side quest, but that's how we roll, who said like she got started perimenopause, and the smell of her husband is so bad now he has to sleep in another room. And he didn't change anything, but the way that her hormones have changed, she's like, I literally cannot sleep next to this man because the smell is unbearable. And I was like, and he's not like a gross guy. Like, I know, like,
I know what she's talking about. And actually, my husband can be straight from the shower, straight from brushing his teeth. Like, there's not an odor coming off of him. It's just the way that he smells now bothers me.
Yeah.
And so I haven't told him that yet. So, honey, if you're listening, yes.
Sorry.
Part of the problem is I can't stand the way you smell.
It's like valid. Okay, so we really digress here, but I think those are relatable little tips, and I made up that statistics. But I think I'm the more I get it, like I'm 43 now, and then the more I get into this hormonal changes, I'm just like every day I have to be like, is this real, or is this my lack of some sort of hormone? Is this real? Do I hate to be, or do I just
Today's Monday. Saturday, I was thriving. I was walking the track at softball. We had 3 softball games. I hosted an open house. I was like, woo. Yeah. Sunday, I woke up and I'm like, I'm so fucking tired. All I want to do is lay down. This is insane. Today, same. Woke up, was like, I'm so dead. Well, I'm on day 28 of my cycle. Of course I feel like this.
I think that's why the cycle tracking is so important. And that has really been helpful to me as well, where I'm like, I think I want to burn the whole world and every business that I run and my house down. And then it's like, oh, okay, you're in your luteal phase. So that makes sense.
I'll like everything again next week.
Okay. But now I'm follicular and I feel great. So anyway, go on. Introduce our amazing guest.
We're not alone. We have Casey Russo. It's Russo, right? I
It's
didn't catch
Russo,
that.
and
We
I'm
got
having such a hard time not chiming in on this entire conversation.
So you can chime in. You can chime in.
yeah, girl, welcome to the party. Let me do your bio and then jump in. Tell us how your hormones are ruining your life.
I
Casey Russo is the vice president and director of operations at Young and Sons Asphalt Paving, her family's business, proudly serving Indiana for nearly 5 decades. Beyond construction, she's also a professional model, actress, and voiceover artist represented by 4 agencies known as the Midwest Model. Her work spans national campaigns, runway shows, and film appearances, and she recently was featured in Queen Size magazine for her resilience and diverse career. Passionate about community, Casey serves the organizations such as Dress for Success, Women of Asphalt, and the Indie Crew, and is committed to empowering women in every industry. A widow, a mother, and now a fiance. She has faced profound personal challenges with strength and grace, using her journey to inspire and uplift others. Casey is currently developing a podcast. Actually, it's been developed and creating real space for conversations about parenting. She believes deeply in female empowerment, reminding others there's enough room at the top for us all. Let's lift each other up and lead with strength. Casey,
yes.
you're in the right place. You are
Woo!
you are our target demographic, our target guest. You are exactly who we like to talk to.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes. And so I'll do our little intro that we did when we were telling Cheryl. So Casey and I met 2 years ago, I think, right, Casey? It was
Yeah.
I attended the Dress for Success event here in Indy, the big gala that they throw here in Indy. It's like the big fundraiser.
Yes.
And for those of you who are not familiar with Dress for Success, it is an organization that helps women typically coming out of domestic abuse
Hmm.
or homelessness or do job training, career training. They help you get dressed and ready for interviews. So they provide clothing for that and a whole gamut of services to help you kind of like get back on your feet. So we were at this gal, we were standing in line at the bar and I was with my friend Shelby. And I keep seeing this lady and she like looks really great. And I like love whatever her outfit was. I'm like, oh, she looks great. And I was like, I feel like I know that lady. I don't know why, but I don't know that. I kept saying to Shelby, like, I feel like I know this lady. And we're in line. And I think you said it to me, Casey. You're like, do I know you?
Well, I was saying that to my friend. I'm like, I swear I know her. I've seen her somewhere. And so it's funny because we're both saying it, but we can't figure out who the other one is. So I
And
came up to you.
yeah,
Yeah.
and so Casey came up to me and she's like, "Hi, do we know each other?" And I was like, "I don't know. You look so familiar. Do I follow?" We didn't follow each other on any social media
Nothing.
already. Like, and so anyway, we were just destined to be friends, and then we kind of just have been friends for the last couple of years, and like different events have connected us, and different situations, and whatever. And then when Casey and I sat down and had coffee one day, and when I really heard her story, I just felt like it was a really important story for everyone to hear, and the amount of resilience and persistence and all the things that we talk about on our podcast is what has lived and is living. So we're really grateful that you're here, Casey, and really grateful that you're willing to share your story. And
Can you
I
do a
think
trigger warning just so that
yeah,
anybody listening?
we'll we'll do a little trigger warning. We are going to talk about suicide. We are going to talk about domestic abuse. And so anyone who that is
Too much.
too much for, then we understand. But we're here to tell like real true stories. So Casey, thanks so much for being here.
I'm so excited to be here. I have to tell you, I had a hysterectomy because I had an ablation, and the same thing that you're going through, I went through. So 2 years ago, I had a full hysterectomy.
Okay,
Oh
how's
my
the
God.
after of that? Are you glad
I
you did
was
it?
absolutely, I wish I would have done it sooner, but I let that, that sharp, like terrible stabbing pain you're getting and you feel like you're going to
Yeah.
die.
Yeah.
I let that go for months,
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
months and months. And then I couldn't take it anymore.
I was in the ER last month with it because I
Yeah.
also was just like I want to see what's going on while it's actively hurting because it's cyclical. So
Yeah.
you're not always feeling it. So by the time 6 weeks goes by and I can get in for a freaking ultrasound, like passed. So that was really
They
helpful.
had a hard time diagnosing it. So just know I totally relate to you. I'm also going through perimenopause, and Ryan is just like, you're hot, you're cold, you're freaking out. Like,
Yeah. Oh, I
it's
Literally.
tough.
woke up drenched this morning, just soaking wet with sweat. I'm like, this is
Really?
beautiful. 40 is fine.
I
It's
haven't had the
tough.
Supposed to be
sweats
like,
yet, but
don't people say like these are the best years of our life? Like, what the fuck?
I mean they are and also are not. I haven't had the night sweats yet, but I definitely am like hot at night and I'm like, why is the fan not on? And to me, it's like, I'm so cold. And he's like a 260-pound man. Like, he is a big ass man. And he's like, I'm freezing. I'm like, turn the fan on. And he was like,
I
That's
and this is when
hilarious.
couples start sleeping in separate rooms.
yeah. But we went through that when I was pregnant because I was hot all the time when I was pregnant because I was like, anyway,
Yeah, we
Casey.
digress, but I have a blanket for you if you're hot all the time. I'll send it to you in a text.
Please, 'cause
Oh,
It's like
yeah.
a cooling blanket, saved our lives. Yeah.
okay.
Oh, okay. I like it. Okay. We will put that in the show notes for anybody else who needs a cooling blanket. Okay, Casey. So you have like I said, you have quite an incredible story. I mean, I don't know exactly where you'd like to begin with that, but we would love for you, if you're willing to kind of share that story with us. I know we've talked a lot about how you're in your marriage. You guys were been together a long time, right?
Yeah.
Were you college sweethearts or?
Yeah. We met at his sister's dance competition. I was the coach and she danced, and we met there. So, and then that was college. So that carried all the way on through adult life till 2021, 17
Oh
years.
my gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
So walk us through a little bit of, like, I know we talked to, when you and I met that one time, we talked a lot about your marriage and um kind of the almost like double life or secret life that you felt like you
Yeah.
were living. So kind of talk to us a kind of what that was like. You
Okay.
guys were married, things seemed fine in the beginning, and then how that evolved.
Yeah. So 17 years we were together, and I'd say 11 of it were pretty toxic, but it didn't start that way. And I don't know
Mm,
if that's because in college you don't have the same stressors that you do as more things get added to life, right? Children and finances and things like that. But for us, everything seemed fine. There'd be little blurps of what I would get a taste of later, but it almost was never to me. So
mm,
it didn't affect me in the same way. But very long story short, Evan was my husband, and it was tough, as in verbally abusive, mentally, emotionally abusive. I can count on two hands physically abusive, which is like way too much. There should be not even a count, right? But no one knew that. I mean, there were a few people who knew like a little taste, but that's not something. I guess what I should say is I've always been so independent and tough and strong my whole life that to now be the one that's in a relationship such as this, who you don't have a voice and you're walking around on eggshells and you're scared, like that's humiliating, especially when that has never been my life. And that's not something, as much as you say trigger warning, I'm sure there's people who will listen and be able to relate. Like, that's not something you walk around and advertise. That's definitely
right.
something that's like a hidden behind the scenes situation. But there would be, I mean, it was almost like you could flip a switch with him. We would be out and having a great time at a wedding or an event. And as soon as the garage, it was like a movie, as soon as the garage door would shut, he would lay into me. It would be something I said,
Mm,
something I did, something I was wearing. You're a fat ass. You make me sick. I hate you. You're a slut. Like all these horrible things would come out of his mouth. And it just like with him, it wouldn't stop until he broke me in that
mm,
moment, until I either was in a fetal position on the floor crying, or he had gotten me in a situation where, I'm cornered. And it just, I don't know how to explain it other than he wasn't done until he was done. Like he had won that battle, if that makes sense. My mom had seen it one time where he kind of threw a belt at me being drunk and acting crazy, so much so that she spent the night that night because she's like, we're not leaving. So just a lot over time that people didn't see. Everybody else has this like amazing version of Evan, and he was so good. I mean, you don't stay with somebody and try for so long if something isn't there, if you aren't trying to cling to those good parts, right? But
right.
when the good parts start becoming less and less and smaller, and the bad starts really outweighing the good, you've got to make a change. And I tried multiple times to leave Evan, and he would threaten me with something. I'll never see my kid, I've been recording you, just weird stuff, right? And scare me to where the point where I'd come back, because that wasn't worth it to me. To risk losing my kid wasn't worth it to me. So I could tough this out, right? I could tough this out till she's 18. um, but I couldn't. It took one really, really bad fight. Memorial Day weekend of 2021 where like I literally wanted to jump out of a moving vehicle on the interstate to escape
Mm,
the situation. And that's when I knew like this will be my life forever. And this is the version my daughter's going to get of what's okay for a man to,
mm,
how to treat her. And she started going to school and telling stories. We had cops called to our house. Like when it started getting to that point, I'm like, something's got to change. And it doesn't matter what it is. Like it has to be immediate. I can't
right.
panic this time and go back. So I didn't. So that's the marriage
It's
thing.
so interesting because I think that people do have the vision of a woman that's going to be in a battered marriage or a battered relationship is going to be weak or not strong. And like what we see time and time again is it's so the opposite. Like very
Mhm.
strong, independent, capable women end up in these positions and it kind of, to your point, sneaks up on
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
And then these men tend to be so charming and so charismatic and like the outside world loves them and I bet there was points where you're questioning yourself on like, is this really that bad? Am I making this worse than this is am I at fault? Am I to
Yeah.
blame for part of
Right.
this?
You
There's a lot
couldn't
of
be more right. Like you literally hit it nail on the head because he would say, you're crazy, you're this, you're that, right? And you hear things over and over and you do start to believe and feel like maybe I am, maybe it is me. And you're right. Everyone loved Evan. He was so good, such a good friend, such a good brother, such a good son, like so good to everyone and good to us and always good to my daughter. But there was just something that clicked in him. And then I got the version that no one saw, right? So then, of course, I sound crazy. Like you're making
right.
it up. And I was so strong in the beginning and I would fight back. And then I just became like a mouse, like coward, just trying to anything I could do to not,
Well, it's just
basically.
easier. Like it's self-preservation at a point where
Right.
like
Yeah,
fighting back is not making this better. It's making this
right,
worse. So like,
right.
how do I make this better for everybody? It's by shutting up and just letting him like let it run its course. It'll be
Yeah,
fine in the morning.
And that's
yeah,
the intention, I think. I think that is the intention of the abuser, right? Whether they know it or not, is to break you to that point, right?
yeah.
Like is to get you to the point where you don't even want to fight back, or you don't like there's nothing you can say that will resolve what it is. And I do think also I can understand and relate to the idea of like there's a lot of shame involved around this, right? Like, you know, to feel like you have to from the outside have this perfect marriage or this perfect husband or he's so great or whatever, and then feel shame or embarrassment that it's not really that way or that you wouldn't want anybody to know those things. I think that that
Right,
is something, and I've had some experience with this in my childhood with my parents. It's like you don't want people to know how bad it is because then again it somehow is there's some sort of reflection on you, or there's a saving face, or there's a trying to make it okay or trying to make it better, right? um and that is I know just from living that from a child's point of view, like that is the thing that eats away at a person, right? Like that is the, it's hard to continue that on for a long period of time. So go ahead.
no, yeah, you're so right. And I think it also becomes like everyone wants to judge you, right?
Mm,
Well, why would you stay in that relationship? Why would you keep putting
right.
up with that? Why would you take it? Why would you not? Because unless you've been in one, you cannot relate to me and I'm so sorry, but you cannot. And I had to learn that. Like everybody's advice is great until it's you. Until you're so brainwashed that you're scared to make a move, even though you know what you should have done a long time ago. And then you do want to keep your family together because, for the longest time, everything's told us, divorce is bad, especially if you're, religious and you need to try to be a family unit and stay together. And my kid wanted that and I wanted that. And Evan used that
Sure.
against me. Every time I would try to leave, Evan would say, Kylan, can you believe that your mom is ripping this family apart? Like, your mom's going to
Oh,
take you from. So then, using your kid, you're the bad one. And even though you have to trust that your kid will know one day soon, like they'll
right.
get it, right? It's scary. It's all really scary. All of it. You're scared of what they're capable of when they're that angry. Because I can't even explain some of the situations, but you're terrified of what they're capable of. what your kid will think, what others will think. Like it's all consuming. It's a lot. And I hate for anybody who ever had to deal with that or is dealing with that. Because the truth is, as much as I thought he would change, he'd go, it's like a honeymoon phase, right? They
Hmm.
go through, they do it, and then they're so sorry and they're so good to you and they'll never do it again. But it's never going to stop. Like I hate to be the pessimist, but it just won't. I did it for 11 years and it just never
Yeah.
was going to stop for me.
I
So,
think too, like your point is like it's so easy for somebody on the outside to be like, well, why wouldn't you just leave him?
yeah,
You
I've
know,
heard
but
it before.
and I think, like the reality of some of that is that when you are married and when you're together for that long, like not regardless of the abuse, but like your lives are so intertwined financially, emotionally, relationship wise, whatever. It is not as easy as like just picking up and leaving, right? And I think, as your story continues, that was part of it, is the financial abuse that and
Yeah.
that was part of that, right? Like not understanding all the finances, not really knowing what was going on behind the scenes. Like,
Yeah.
can you speak to that a little bit?
Yes, as far as that goes, Evan, his job was a financial controller. So it didn't phase me at all that he was the one who was in charge of our finances. He made more than me at the time, and that's what he did for a living. So he was the better one in our marriage to do it, right? We each had our things that we paid for, and it all made sense at the time. Until after his passing, I sort of learned that there was, well, there were a lot of secrets. Okay. So, secret debt that I didn't know existed, credit cards that were in my name that I never held or used, right? And all the
Mm,
debt that's racking up on that. Secret drug addiction. So, all these random people in his phone that he's paying, that he's meeting, that are coming to our house, delivering what they call groceries right under my nose. Like, I feel so naive and stupid even saying it, but I've never been in that world or done anything like that, so it's just not something I was aware of. So there was just all these, he took out a small business loan and there was a loan in our name, all this stuff that I had no idea happened until he passed. And because he passed
mm,
by suicide, there's no life insurance money. Everything was in his name, so that was a struggle. But besides that, there's all these secrets, right? I'm trying to mourn, I'm trying to grieve, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to go on, and I just keep, it's just more and more and more, and I'm like, did I even know this man? Like, I don't know how to explain it. It was a tough time. Very tough time to overcome that. But you're right. Like I am so paranoid of that now that I just will never ever be in that situation as a woman again in a relationship. I will never be out of the dark, like in the dark, I guess you could say, where I have no idea what's going on. That'll never happen to me again, I can assure you.
That
yeah.
feeling of like, did I know him? How
Yeah.
disturbing that must feel.
Yeah. Tough because I mean it was a long time to be with somebody, right? And
Yeah.
so to then, Evan told me, what was it, Kylan's birthday. We went to dinner for Kylan's birthday. Even though I'd filed for divorce, we were trying, in the beginning, it was horrible when I filed. And then we were trying to get along and figure out how to co parent. And I invited him to dinner with us for Kylan's birthday, and everything was good. And I get home that evening, and in the parking, or in our driveway, the house that he kept that I moved out of, he's like, "You think I'm on drugs, don't you?" And I go,
Mm.
what are we doing here? Are you trying to embarrass me one more time in this neighborhood? Has it not been enough for you? What are you doing? And he was trying to tell me, and he did end up telling
Mm.
me that he had been addicted to drugs our entire relationship, which I knew he
Wow.
dabbled with stuff in college, but I sure as hell was not aware this was a constant for us.
What was he addicted
Um,
to?
Oh gosh, it was basically opiates, so
Mm.
painkillers. But then there is, I had to look it up. I didn't even know what this was. It was called Suboxone, and I think it's something you use when people are trying to wean off of heroin, but
Oh.
you can abuse it. And
Hmm.
so, Evan, here, let me give him, like, he isn't a bad person. Okay, I know this sounds horrible, but I swear to you, like, I fell in love with him for a reason. He isn't a bad person. Like, he went through a lot as a child that never got talked about, resolved. Like, his dad was horrible to him. His dad was an addict, an alcoholic. His dad abused his mom, him, like, horrible childhood. Okay. And that's not his fault, but there is a point where you do have to recognize you went through stuff and get the help you need to change.
Right.
Right.
Well, what
So
I
the
keep
human,
hearing is,
yeah,
he had mental health problems, and our country has
definitely.
nothing, like, we're getting better, but there's not a lot of like easy to access help for this. There's still a stigma in certain generations about accessing care. Like, as I'm hearing you talk about him, I'm like, this man he was hurting.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure. Absolutely. And never dealt with that. And that just snowballed. Right. And so I honestly think he was trying to mask all that with the drugs. Like, I can
Right.
stay somewhat happy and normal and feel okay if I stay on these. Right.
That's it for this week. Come back next week for part 2.
That's a wrap. Thank you for joining us on this journey of laughter, life, and growth.
And remember, you're not alone on this path to success. We're right here with you every step of the way.
Please remember to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. And if you found value in today's conversation, we'd be thrilled if you would leave us a review on your favorite platform. Your feedback means the world to us.
And don't forget to share this podcast with your friends, family, and anyone who could use a good laugh and some practical insight into navigating the challenges and triumphs of our minds, body, soul, and business.
Remember, we're doing this right.